Hello and welcome to our midweek conversation at First Baptist Sweetwater, where we strive to be the first responders of God's love. My name is Jerry Hendricks. I'm in Studio A in the new year with good friend Teek Hamilton. Hello, Teek.
Hello, Jerry. 2022 is here.
It is here, and I think we're ready.
Which means summer's just around the corner.
Are you that way?
No.
I am.
But we talk about it a lot.
I love going into stores and seeing patio furniture already out, which it is.
Yeah, it is.
And I get excited. Summer is really my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite season. I really like the fall. But I do love warm weather and summer and camps and all that kind of stuff. Mowing the grass.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's a lot of fun.
Valentine's candy was out before we even hit, like 5 days from Christmas.
Yeah, I know. Sharon had some Valentine candy in her stocking.
Because they ran out of Christmas
Santa
candy?
must be. Santa couldn't find exactly what he was looking for.
Okay, I understand that.
And so, anyways. Well, so how was everything, man? How's your holiday?
It was a good break. It was good to slow down a little bit, but it's one of those things that I'm always ready to get back.
Yeah.
I like the routine better than I do the off.
I do too, but I think this year there were several things going or in motion, I guess, but I'm still wondering if even with that routine, it helped having a routine that didn't chop up a week because the holidays were on a weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
And it just felt like a really good rhythm and flow. I intended to look ahead to next year to see what that's going to feel like because this one did fit so well.
Right.
And I feel like we're really ready for the new year and more than just emotionally ready.
Right.
I feel like that we've got some things going that I'm pretty excited about.
The thing for me is that things like the holidays, when they hit, we have certain things that we don't do. So we haven't had Wednesday night youth. So I get out of that routine. If I'm taking vacation during a time when we have youth, at least I saw the routine of getting things prepared, getting things ready, and I know that process. Just the dead time. I mean, we watched movies. That's how exciting it was. And you know I love movies.
I stayed on the go with some things away from home, so that helped a lot this year.
Did you see Spider-Man, the new one?
No, I'm not going to.
I mean, I don't like movies. We all know this. I'm not a movie fan. It's twisting my arm. But we went to see Spider-Man, and there is a reference to youth pastors in it.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me
and
this
it's
ahead
quite,
of time.
you know, I stood up and cheered and clapped and then went back to sleep. I mean, I didn't really stand up and cheer. Stacey would have not been happy. And we were in those chairs that have the button that kicks the leg out. Mm-hmm. So you don't have, I would have had to be like, boo, and then stand up and cheer. So it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was a good break. I'm just glad to be back to a little bit of normal routine, even in the new year.
Right. Well, I think we're looking forward to it. It's fun. Setting our sights on something so early in the year with this summit. Series that we're doing. Have I called it conference? I feel like that. I keep thinking conference every time.
I don't know
that I say something about it.
I mean, now you have.
Yeah.
Now it's the summit conference.
It feels like it should be called a conference, but I'm really excited about that as a place to really get us going, somewhat right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I think we're naturally ready. People are naturally ready for the start of a new year and everything, and however that may involve them with their schedules or occupations. But I think having this set up and
having Miles here,
having Miles and Jonathan coming back, and just rethinking some things, and I guess too for us. We're in an interim situation in several areas in our church life right now.
Right.
In terms of an office secretary on Mondays, but most notable is our worship pastor.
Right.
And, we've said we had already planned out our Advent to include a different sort of musical set.
Right.
So we haven't really. We're not into a groove yet where we've kind of realized, okay, so it's going to be different each week. Mm-hmm. And I liked that Matthew got a lot of people involved Sunday.
Yeah, he had two, or had a youth up there and then had Garrison up there also.
Yeah. So I think that builds some some anxiety for us as a church, but also it made it get us off to a good start.
Yeah, I mean, if your focus is in the right place, then it makes it a little bit easier to come in each week and to just be a part of worship. So that's good. But yeah, it was a good Sunday. You mentioned Advent and the music and all that. That was something I talked about several times over the break, was the excitement of the carolers. I thought that was a really cool element we had in the pop singing. And we've talked about that in previous episodes, so I won't go into it. But it was one of those things that when I brought it up each time, it was like, oh, that's really cool. How did that go? And I had to explain it all. And so it was fun. That sets the bar higher for Advent 2022.
I think it does. I think that we're kind of discovering some of those things, and we've talked about this, that when you don't have a full-time worship pastor who does the planning of these events on a regular basis, or even on Sunday to Sunday, it does fall back on us. And I think with the addition of a volunteer team that helps do that, and then we're bringing up more of those conversations from that meeting into our staff meeting, and getting more people involved, that makes it real exciting. And it's even some of the subtle things where we give attention to, like the reading scripture and lighting of the candle, with a new family, or I say a new family, a relatively new family to us. And so that was fun, a Sunday as well as a part of our worship. So, and
a unique story. It's kind of a fun one of them being there.
Yeah, they're a real neat family, and just kind of quietly taking their place with us. And Braden,
Brandon, and Heather.
Yeah, and so I know he's involved in the student ministry. I don't think I didn't say that Sunday, and I was frustrated because I wanted to make sure that we knew that, but and not just assume that. So, but he stepped up to the mic and read scripture for us. It was good. That's not easy for some of those guys.
No, it's not easy in general, because your first instinct anytime you have a mic in front of you is to grab the mic and move it. And we do a really good job, or our sound team does a really good job of having it in place and in the type of mics that we need, that you don't have to move it. And so it's nice that, when you get up there, you don't have to worry about that. But that's your first instinct. That's my first instinct, to grab it and to move it. And I don't know if he grabbed it, moved it or not, but that's always my first thought. I reach up there, grab it, and I'm always worried what it sounds like. But no, he did really good. Yeah, that whole family.
Yeah, it was fun and good to get to know them. At least more of our folks maybe get to know them, having had them in front of us now. So that was a good addition to our worship. And then, so we were talking about how you kind of come into 22, the new year, and my mind really does shift. I mean, we do focus on the Lenten season. We give that a lot of attention. But
it's so late this year.
Yeah, it's just something about just turning the corner. I mean, my mind, it moves pretty fast towards the warmer weather and everything. And
that's easy to do in Texas, because warmer weather hits fast, except for last year when it was in February, that we had like 3 years of just cold.
Right. There was one of those weeks, I guess it was the week before Christmas, where the office was closed most of those days, and I would go outside and eat my sandwich or eat my lunch in the sun, and me and Butkus would go have lunch together.
And you can do that this year too. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy.
Well, so it's been fun to get off to a good start. This next few weeks, I'm spending some time, because we get so many things kicked off into the new year with some additional members of our church council. Our deacons meetings get started again. And then we want to try to start the year kind of seeing, what God's done in our life together, and think about what we want to see happen this next year. And one of the things that I shared Sunday, is that, I'd said in this meeting that we had with deacons on a Zoom meeting in the middle of COVID, that I felt like that it would be the fall of 22 before we really knew where we stood. And for me and for for our church, I think it's kind of set up a one of those situations where, okay, no more excuses.
Right.
And I know that, I read even this morning, I believe the title was Disruptive Thoughts or Disruptive Trends for 22.
Yeah.
In terms of church. And there's definitely things that are still in motion that are not, things are not static, they're not normal.
Right.
But in that, we're moving past that period where we can make excuses for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited about what that looks like for us. And it's not one of those, I felt like through COVID for you and I and Lisa in particular, the three of us who were around here mm-hmm. all the time in terms of staff, it was there was an excitement to that once we grasped it, but it was one of those that was draining. It always, regardless of how exciting it was, it took a lot out of mm-hmm. us to do things and to get things going. Whereas this, I feel like, will be one of those one of those things that is replenishing.
Right.
And I think that our church, rather than being just observers like they were during COVID, because we weren't really together mm-hmm. on so many things, that this will put us in a place where we can be participants again.
Right.
And even things as simple as for our summit conference, making a bowl of chili, a pan of cornbread, or making a dessert, and coming down to the fellowship hall and being together and meeting our special guest.
Taunting each other.
There's going to be some.
It's already started.
Good. That's good. I think it's healthy.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because no matter what I do, it's going to be great.
Yeah. That's a very good attitude.
And if Mike Wilkes is watching this, just so you know, my chili's going to
win. There you have it. We already have a winner. So what we could say is, well, I wondered, because we do make a good deal about this these award-winning recipes that are out there
right.
in our church.
Right.
And in fact, I think you have one of those awards.
I do award-winning cranberry salsa.
Yeah, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It is very good. It has an award-winning taste. But we also bring, because the chili cook-off was a competition previously mm-hmm. in our church, we do have award-winning chefs.
Yes, we do. And I was just thinking about
now,
that.
Some of those not be self-proclaimed. I'm not sure how you did this back in the day.
Well, I probably voted all for myself. It was probably a fundraiser, and however much money you put in front of the chili was who won.
One of those.
And I probably voted for myself. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. We could have, we've done golden boom boxes for camp. We could have a golden chili bowl for the winner.
Yeah,
I think we could do that. This could be fun. This could take us to new levels that we never intended to go.
Well, we were talking about, making good use of our time
right.
this week, since we don't have Wednesday night activities. So
right.
it could happen.
We have Wednesday day activities, though. Chamber coffee.
Yeah. By the time this drops, that will be history.
Right. Oh,
but
so
it has been 2 years. That's
right.
I don't think I said it that way Sunday in our announcements, which were shorter this week.
Right. They were. Yes, they were. Congratulations.
They were a bit long, Teak, but they were much shorter than last week.
They were much more engaging.
That just means that you had been able to take attendance and sit down by then.
True.
Okay.
True.
So anyways, we're moving into the new year, thinking these next 2 weeks, talking about our church again on the 16th. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking about, I guess the theme is the State of the Church address. So what I'm working on now for our leadership meetings on January 10th are those kinds of thoughts as I lead us really in a reflection of the last year, of the last, and really a lot of it, mine and your tenure together. Mm-hmm. We kind of want to be able to think objectively about this time, and see how God's moving among us, and really just start to challenge one another with what we sense that God's leading us into. I think through all of the history thing the historic year we had.
Right.
Recognizing our history,
Right.
and bringing forward some of those key messages, which I'm still doing, and kind of keeping that present with us, at least for the time being. I was impressed with the way that stories developed and people talked about how ministries were started. And I think that's one of the things that in the transition in our church over the last 8 or 9 years, that's probably something we've not seen a lot of. That ministries, I think, and I think there can be this tendency where ministries in a church are relegated to those who we perceive have expertise.
Right.
That meaning staff.
Right.
And so we don't have a lot of operations in terms of our structure anymore. We're not having church 3 times a week.
Right.
Where all of that momentum, that motion keeps you busy.
Right.
We really do have time to rest on some of these ideas and let them kind of get into our souls a little bit, and then see how God leads us. And that being said, we did come up with, there were some things that were developed last year
Right.
that I think have a lot of potential for us in the new year.
Yeah.
So it is going to be fun to see how all these things develop, and I'm looking forward to working with you on that, Teague.
Yes.
And this Sunday also, speaking of ministry team, this Sunday we'll recognize Lisa Aker for her time in children's ministry here. She actually was a volunteer, a full-time volunteer when I got here in 2015. And then in January 2016, she became an official part of the paid part-time staff here. And so she does spend, besides being responsible for the children's scheduling and ministry, she does spend a couple of days in the office a week. And so we're glad to have her as a part of our team, and look forward to celebrating her and saying thank you on Sunday.
Yeah, that's always fun. We could have had her here in the podcast today, but she's in Abilene. just let you know, she wasn't able to be here.
That girl is always in Abilene.
Yep.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to Sunday, and looking forward to be together again for worship as we kind of get more into a regular rhythm in this new year. We'll be at 10:30, whether you're joining us live or on stream, and we look forward to being a part of your week.
See you then.